Hi, my name is Dr. Zippy Okoth, and this is Film Speak.
In a bid to confront the alarming issue of gender-based violence and sexual abuse within educational institutions, KCA University, in conjunction with the University of Nottingham, hosted a crucial event titled Breaking the Silence. Spearheaded by filmmaker and senior lecturer Dr. Zippy Okoth, the event sought to empower students to speak up against the injustices they face in campuses.
So first, I am an activist. I say activist because I use art. I'm an activist on gender-based violence. All my films, all my works, my books have always been talking about something to do with gender-based violence, whether it's domestic, whether it's rape. It's something I've been passionate about for a very long time.
The event featured a screening of a film titled Comrade Cause, written based on research gathered from students across various universities, showcasing the harsh realities of sexual abuse within academic environment.
We must break the silence. We must speak up. We must spread the word. We have to occupy the space.
Every time you sit, I'm sure even within a day you see some messages going through WhatsApp on some sort of gender-based violence taking place. And I think this project is a very timely project where we are now saying we are breaking the silence and being able to say no and being able to say that yes, I am a victim, or at one point I suffered this, but I have been able to wake up and face this by doing ABCD.
The film powerfully depicted the silent struggles many students endure and called for institutions to take stronger actions.
You'll go to court and rot in prison for decades. In prison, they will do to you what you did to this girl.
I mean, with gender-based violence, we know the statistics since COVID that it is increasing. We are talking of over 40% of students facing this. And me being a student or a previous student at the universities, you know, I've had advances, and I think it's about time we say no to this, and as a society we come together to address what is a menace.
One of the event's highlight was the discussion following the screening. Here, students shared their experiences, echoing the need for collective action against the culture of silence around gender-based violence.
Nobody wants to be a victim of something, whether on set or off set, but it had to come with preparation. We were called for rehearsals and a first meeting by our director, Dr. Zippy, and she took us through the script. She asked me what I was comfortable with, what I wasn't comfortable with, what I wanted to be shot, what I wanted to say, what I didn't want to say. And I think that was really quite a good experience for me. But the role itself, playing it all the way through, in between I started feeling like it had started getting into me, and I had to text my scene partner and ask him what he really feels about the role, and he really tried to do everything to make me comfortable. He got to me, he asked me, are you okay if I touched you here? Are you okay if you wanted me to do this? Does this remind you of something? And all the way through, and after we shot and after we wrapped, the director also called me aside and she asked me how I felt about everything. I was really sad. I was really sad. I wasn't happy at all. Not because of what I had done, but because of what the role had. As an actor, you bear the burdens of a character, and sometimes it gets to your head.
So the film is showing us rape, and this is a film that we created based on the stories that we got from the needs assessment that we did. So we first did a needs assessment, then we reviewed them, and then we were able to do a story and shoot the film.
Dr. Zippy Okoth, who also produced the film Otis Janam, connected this project with her ongoing work in tackling sensitive social issues. In Otis Janam, theme of domestic violence and sexism are central, intertwining cultural issues with personal narratives to spark dialogue and reflection.
Despite the story, despite the fact that it's based in the 90s, despite the fact that it is in pure Luo language, it has been nominated right now as one of the best films in, it's a best international film nominee for the National Film and TV Awards, South Africa. You know, we only have the National Film and TV Awards. There's American, USA, Europe, and in Africa now, this is the one that's happening in South Africa. So we are very excited about that. But beyond that, we've already been nominated and won several awards at the Zanzibar International Film Festival. Right now, we are part of official selection screening at Nairobi Film Festival, and quite an hour films. And this for us, it is a pat on the back to tell us that you are doing something nice, and we hope that apart from the entertainment, that the message gets home.
The timing of this event is in particular relevant given recent reports on sexual abuse in universities. A 2022 survey by the Center for Rights, Education and Awareness revealed that 47% of female students in Kenyan universities have faced some form of sexual harassment.
You have one of the highest in Africa. Why? Why are men doing this to your women? What is happening in this country? It should be going down. You know, we're all saying it's 2024. Well, that's my problem.
And the numbers will keep rising because we don't even have enough cases being reported because of the stigmatization, access to justice, follow-up on justice, how much it costs, even when you're following up on justice, cyberbullying, not being believed. You know, the numbers will keep on rising.
Moreover, unwanted sexual attention, inappropriate touching, and request for sexual favors by individuals in authorities, including lecturers, remain some of the most passive forms of harassment male students face in campus.
You came here because you have the capacity and capability. Do not pull down your trousers and pants for me and him. You know, I'm saying me and him because I'm a lecturer as well. You are capable. You have the power to say no and walk out with your head held high.
The screening of this film and discussion held after emphasized the need for institutional accountability. While the government has put in place measures such as Kenya's Sexual Offence Act, many feel that the enforcement remains weak on the ground. Many students believe the culture of silence is perpetuated not just by fear, but also by lack of trust in the system to deliver justice.
When an abuser wants to do it, it is in their mind, and it does not matter where you are. You can be in your own house watching TV and somebody walks in and rapes you. It could be a relative. So we cannot really talk about the extracurricular activities or the leisure activities that they're doing as things contributing to rape. No. Rape is a human rights issue. It is an abuse, and it is not the victim to blame for being wherever they are, for doing whatever they want.
Our young girls and boys out there, you know, we have the power in our hands. It's about time to begin challenging, you know, our perpetrators, challenging institutions that are not supportive of or mitigating gender-based violence. It's about time we spoke.
Then the language of violence. When we are talking about and reporting and discussing cases of sexual and gender-based violence, how do we ensure that the way we do that does not normalize, right, SGBV, or place the burden on the shoulders of the victim, but rather ensures that the responsibility lies with the offender because they chose to be violent.
So another thing that's happening is that we have a lot of laxity on sexual issues when it comes to Gen Zs, but there's also the issue of that Gen Zs, there's the consent bit, then there's the rape bit. So we need to empower them to understand what is defilement, what is rape, and what is consent.
And for Film Speak, this is Andy Rodi.